Today we explore the many types of yoga you may encounter in your journey with this multifaceted practice. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to describe the 4 types of traditional yoga discussed, describe the 4 types of modern yoga discussed, describe the 3 types of unconventional yoga discussed, name each posture in Sanskrit and English, state the muscle focus for each posture, and demonstrate each posture. We start with traditional types of yoga. Ashtanga. The name Ashtanga originated in Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, to be discussed in Module 2, and translates as 8 limbs. This iteration of yoga was derived from ancient teachings and popularized by Sri K. Pattabhi Jois during the 20th century. Ashtanga focuses on increasing strength and flexibility, uniting breath with movement, and creating a meditative state through repetitive movements. As discussed in the previous lesson, Ashtanga is a challenging form of yoga which places emphasis on the sun salutations and flowing movements. Ashtanga has 3 main series: primary, secondary, and advanced, with the advanced series being broken up into 4 sequences. The primary series consists of 41 asanas and takes around 90 minutes to complete. We build on some of the poses we learned in Lesson 1 with variations from the Ashtanga primary sequence. Big toe pose, Padangustasana. Starting in your Uttanasana, standing forward bend, we move to big toe pose, Padangustasana. Slide the middle and pointer or index fingers, the peace fingers, of each hand between the big toes and the second toes. Grip the big toes firmly, wrapping the thumbs around the other 2 fingers to secure the wrap, so that as you bend your elbows, they reach to the side, not backward. Fold forward. This pose will stretch the hamstrings and the shoulders. Hand under foot pose, Padahastasana. Another version of Uttanasana is Padahastasana, hand under foot pose or gorilla pose. Starting from the same position, Uttanasana, fold forward and turn your hands so your palms face up and slide them underneath the soles of your feet. Aim to have your toes connect with the wrist joint. Shift the weight of your feet forward and back so that you find a comfortable position for your hands and wrists. As you begin to straighten your elbows, you'll feel a strong stretch across the shoulder girdle and the hamstrings. Ashtanga offers us a standing variation of our Janushirasana A, head to knee forward bend, which challenges our balance and flexibility. This variation is extended hand to big toe pose, or Uttita Hasta Padangustasana. From Tadasana, bring your right knee towards your belly, interlacing your hands just below your knee. Once you feel stable, reach your right hand toward your right foot. Depending on your hamstring flexibility today, either take hold of your big toe with your peace fingers as discussed previously, or the outer blade of your foot. Extend the leg forward any amount that is available to you today. Another wonderful stretch of the hamstrings and test of your balance. Hatha Yoga. At its origin, Hatha Yoga was an umbrella term for the physical expression of yoga. Hatha was traditionally defined as the yoga of force, or the means of attaining a state of yoga through force. Nearly every type of yoga class taught in the West falls under the umbrella term of Hatha Yoga. As yoga has become further assimilated into the West, the definition of Hatha has changed. Generally, if a class is described as Hatha, it denotes a gentle yoga practice, with fairly long holds, and often with pauses in between postures. For this reason, modern Hatha yoga classes are a good place to start for beginners. Did you know? Ha means sun, ta means moon. Therefore, the practice of Hatha is to balance the sun and moon energies in the body. Bridge pose, Setu Bandha Sharvangasana. Lie on your back and bend both your knees. Plant your feet hip-width apart, lining up your hip bones, not the outer edges of your hips, and knees, and bring your arms alongside your body, with palms facing down. Your fingertips should lightly touch your heels. Lift your hips by pressing the feet into the floor, and start to roll your spine off the floor. Safety first, maintain the hip-width distance between your knees. Allow your chest to lift by pressing down first into the forearms and the hands, then into your legs and your glutes. This stretches the chest, neck, and spine. Tree pose, Vrikshasana. From your Tadasana, bend your knee and place the sole of your foot somewhere along the inseam of the opposite leg. Avoid placing pressure on your knee joint itself. Choose a place above or below the knee. If that's too difficult for your balance today, please place your toes next to your ankle on the mat. Look straight ahead in front of you at a single point to maintain balance. Once you feel stable, slowly lift your arms overhead from the sides. Join the palms and bring them back in front of your heart. Tree pose firms legs, stretches the groin and hips, and improves balance. Iyengar Yoga. Iyengar is all about precision and alignment and makes use of several props, discussed in more detail in Module 2, to achieve these goals. This form of yoga was founded by BKS Iyengar, who wrote two of the most widely referenced yoga books, Light on Yoga and Light on Pranayama. Downward Facing Dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. We build on our downward facing dog with some helpful feedback from the wall. One option is to line up your fingertips against the skirting board to ensure proper alignment of your arms. The other option is to place your heels against the skirting board or further up the wall, depending on your hamstring flexibility today, to ensure proper alignment of the heels. Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. The wall is a wonderful alignment tool for Warrior 2 as well. Align your back foot with the wall and gently press the outside blade of your foot into the wall. The feedback from this action is useful to keep the arches of the feet lifted and protect the knees. Set your Warrior 2 up so that you are facing away from the wall. Place your back palm on the wall at shoulder height to feel the activation through the arms and to help you align your torso and keep the crown of your head reaching towards the ceiling. Our final alignment option here is useful for posture in general. Move into Warrior 2 with the wall at your back. This will help to avoid leaning backward and straining your lower back. Child's Pose, Balasana. Use a chair to help intensify the stretch across your chest and into your arms. Set yourself up in front of the seat of the chair on your knees. Place your hands on the seat with your hands shoulder width apart. allow your chest to lower towards the mat. This intensifies the stretch across your chest and into your arms. Kundalini Yoga. Kundalini was brought to the West in the 1970s by Yogi Bhajan and quickly gained a following as it combined both physical and spiritual aspects. The practice is based on the belief that there is energy that lies dormant at the base of the spine, and through Kundalini, this energy can be drawn up through the 7 chakras to achieve enlightenment. In the Kundalini system, there are 7 chakras, or energy points: root chakra, Muladhara; sacral chakra, Svastisthana; solar plexus chakra, Manipura; heart chakra, Anahata; throat chakra, Vishuddha; third eye chakra, Ajna; and crown chakra, Sahasrara. The origins of this chakra system are by no means undisputed, and we will delve into the various systems in Module 4. Kundalini practitioners. Yogis who practice Kundalini wear white to extend their auras by at least 1 foot, which was thought to give the yogis a strong identity and ensure that negative influences are automatically filtered. Wearing white is also said to be an exercise in awareness, as it takes more consciousness and care to keep white clothes pristine. They wear head coverings, or turbans, to focus and contain the energy of the third eye chakra. In addition to this, it provides a more practical aspect by pressing on the skull meridians, or pathways of energy in the body, which alter the blood flow and promote calm and relaxation. These yogis are encouraged to practice or meditate on sheepskin to create an insulation between the practitioner and the magnetic pull of the earth. Kriyas are the main physical expression of Kundalini Yoga and are a series of repetitive movements paired with the breath, accompanied by a mantra or chanting, and repeated many times. Each Kriya has a specific aim. Today we will be looking at the Sat Kriya, one of the Kriyas fundamental to Kundalini, and a Kriya for ego eradication. To begin the Sat Kriya, sit on your heels in rock pose, or hero pose as we know it. Stretch your arms over your head with elbows straight. Interlace all the fingers except for the index fingers. Men cross the right thumb over the left, women cross the left thumb over the right. Remain firmly seated on your heels throughout the motions of the Kriya. Chant Sat while bringing your navel in and towards the spine. Chant Nam, relaxing the belly. Try to chant with a constant rhythm of about 8 times per 10 seconds. As you continue in a steady rhythm, you will feel your abdominals and pelvic floor being engaged. Continue for anywhere from 3 to 31 minutes. To end the Sat Kriya, inhale and gently squeeze the glute muscles. Exhale completely. Inhale, exhale completely, and hold the breath as you apply a lock in the body, contracting the lower pelvis, lifting your diaphragm, gently tucking your chin towards your chest, and squeezing all the muscles from the pelvis to the neck. Hold the breath to your comfort and capacity. Inhale and relax. This Kriya focuses on the main energy channel and directing this energy through the chakras. Ego Eradicator. This Kriya can be done in easy pose, Sukhasana, or rock pose, Virasana. Raise your arms up to a 60-degree angle. Keep your elbows straight and your shoulders down. Gently tuck your chin towards your chest, curl your fingertips, and connect them to the pads of the palms at the base of the fingers. Your thumbs are stretched back, pointing towards each other. Keep your eyes closed throughout and focus above the head. We use the breath of fire for this Kriya. It is done by pumping from the center of the navel while breathing rapidly through the nose. It is always practiced in through the nostrils with the mouth closed. Continue for 1 to 3 minutes. To end the ego eradicator, inhale deeply and bring the arms overhead and connect the tips of the thumbs. Exhale, open the fingers and relax the arms down. This kriya is said to open the lungs, consolidate the magnetic field, and bring the brain hemispheres to a state of alertness. Coming up in Lesson 3, we discuss the origins of yoga and the people who shaped it into the exciting and dynamic practice that we know today. Modern yoga. Vinyasa. This is the style of yoga you are most likely to encounter in a yoga class and has gained immense popularity for its cardiovascular benefits. Vinyasa simply means flow, or a transition between movements. Both Surya A and B sequences could be referred to as a vinyasa. While there are many forms of vinyasa, such as a slow flow or power yoga, they will generally share characteristics such as a focus on uniting movement with breath and smooth transitions between postures. Cobra pose, Bhujangasana. This pose is a wonderful alternative to upward facing dog if you have limited shoulder mobility, lower back pain, or would simply prefer a variation which places less emphasis on upper body strength. Lie on your stomach on the floor. Place your palms on either side of your chest with your fingertips in line with your shoulders. Your elbows are bent and connected with the sides of your body. Straighten your arms about halfway to lift your chest off the floor, going only to a height at which you can maintain a connection of your hips to the mat with no discomfort. Bhujangasana will stretch the chest, shoulders, and abdomen and is said to be therapeutic for asthma. Wide-legged forward bend, Prasarita Padottanasana. Stand in your mountain pose with your toes pointing toward the long edge of your mat. Take a big step to the side. Make sure your inner feet are parallel to each other or slightly pigeon-toed. Fold forward from your hips and allow your hands to reach towards the mat. Remember to lift your inner ankles and press the outer edges of your feet into the mat. There are many arm variations you can use in this posture. Hands on the mat in line with your shoulders, hands to your hips, fingers wrapped around your big toes, or you can interlace your hands at the base of your spine and gently draw the hands overhead for an extra shoulder stretch. While this posture is not unique to a vinyasa practice, this forward fold is brilliant for stretching the inner thighs, groin, and hamstring. Bikram or heated yoga. Heated yoga is a style that has recently been popularized by Bikram Choudhury. While some classes may be vinyasa or ashtanga classes performed in a heated room, Bikram classes have a specific sequence of 26 postures to be performed in order and for certain periods of time. Bikram yoga should be performed in a room heated to 40 degrees centigrade. These 26 postures were chosen to give the student an experience of most types of poses: back bends, side bends, forward folds, and twists. Bikram pranayama. The sequence begins with pranayama to cleanse your respiratory system and lungs. Standing in Tadasana, interlace all 10 fingers under the chin. Maintain this connection throughout the breathwork exercise. Inhale. Look down and lift your elbows up to the ceiling as far as possible. Exhale, push your head back as far as possible and bring your elbows forward in front of your chest. Try to connect your elbows as much as possible. Side bending pose, Urdhva Hastasana, Ardha Chandrasana. We move from Tadasana once again. Root through the four corners of your feet. Inhale and raise your arms overhead, interlacing your fingers while keeping the pointer fingers extended. Exhale and bend to the right from the side waist. Hold, then inhale and lift your torso back to the upright position. Exhale, bend to the left side. Hold, then inhale and lift your torso back to the upright position. You'll feel a wonderful stretch into the side of your body and your shoulders. You may even feel a bit of core activation as you draw your body back through center. Chair pose, Utkatasana, but not as we know it from lesson 1. To get into the Bikram variation of this pose, bend your knees and send your hips towards the mat as you find a deep, stable squat position. Brush your fingertips along the mat and continue to reach your arms forward until your fingertips are in line with your shoulders. Once you feel stable, see if you can lift your heels while maintaining the bend in your knees and your upright posture. This variation targets the quads more than ever, tests your balance, and strengthens your ankles. Did you know? Bikram ran all of his trainings personally and even provided a script for the teachers, so no one deviated from his intended message. The manuals included colorful metaphors to assist students in finding the full expression of the posture. For example, in side bending pose, he encourages proper alignment by saying, "Open your chest like a flower petal blooming." In Padahastasana, he helps students into the deep forward fold by stating, "From the side, you should look like a Japanese ham sandwich. No gap anywhere." Jiva Mukti. Jiva Mukti was founded in 1984 by Sharon Gannon and David Life, and is both a physical and spiritual practice. This method is based on 5 tenets. Ahimsa, non-violence, both towards other human beings and animals, with a specific focus on encouraging vegetarianism and veganism. Bhakti. This tenet states that God or self-realization is the goal of all yoga practices. Jiva Mukti encourages humility in all its endeavors. Dhyana, a form of meditation where students are encouraged to be still and observe their mind's fluctuations. Nada. This centers on deep inner listening, chanting, and music. Its theoretical and practical aspects are based on the premise that everything that exists, including human beings, consist of sound vibrations, or nada. Shastra, the essential study of ancient texts and teachings accompanied by chanting. Did you know? Jiva stands for the living soul of an individual. Mukti translates into liberation, what most people call moksha, liberation from the cycle of rebirth. Restorative or yin yoga. Restorative yoga and yin yoga are synonymous these days. These forms of yoga target your deep connective tissue, like your fascia, ligaments, and joints. They're slower and more meditative, and rely heavily on props, such as blocks, blankets, straps, and the wall, to support you in these postures, which are typically held for 3 to 5 minutes. Restorative and yin yoga classes rely on passive stretching to find a deeper range of motion and offer a gentle, meditative class. Many poses can be transformed from yang, or active poses, to yin, or passive poses, with the addition of props. Puppy's pose, or anahatasana, can become a yin pose by placing a blanket, pillow, or bolster underneath your chest, so your arms will not need to work as hard to support your body weight. Child's pose, or balasana, can become a more restorative pose by placing a blanket, pillow, or bolster underneath your chest, so your hips aren't forced to open as deeply. Legs up the wall, Viparita Karani. Lie with your hips a short distance away from the wall and extend your legs straight up, allowing them to feel heavy. Try to have your legs stacked directly above your hips and completely supported. Bring your left hand to your heart and your right hand to your belly as you take deep, steadying breaths. This pose aids lymph drainage, relieves tension in the feet and lower back, and calms the nervous system. Cat pulling its tail. Start by lying on your back. Draw your right knee into your chest, keeping your bottom left leg straight. Bring your top right knee across your body and to the side. If you feel comfortable, maybe extend your top right leg here. Bend the bottom left leg, bringing that heel towards your buttock. Reach down with your top hand and take hold of the bottom foot. You may feel a stretch in the outside line of your top leg and a stretch in your quad of the bottom leg. As always, try it out on the other side and feel the different stretches in your legs. Reclined butterfly, Supta Baddha Konasana. We start in our Baddha Konasana. Place a pillow or bolster under your spine and maybe a blanket under each knee if the angle of your hips is uncomfortable. Slowly lower yourself onto the pillow and allow your chest to open as you release your arms to the mat. This subtle back bend opens the front body, shoulders, and groin. We speak in great detail about yin yoga and its benefits in Module 4. Definitely something to look forward to. Break the mold. Unconventional types of yoga. Goat yoga. It's just as crazy as it sounds. In goat yoga, practitioners place their mats in a goat enclosure and have the kids frolic around them as the students are led through a yoga class. While this may seem unconventional, the rationale behind it is that the joy of the goats inspires joy in the students. Beer or wine yoga. In this type of yoga, the practitioner has an alcoholic drink of their choice near their mat and is led through a class by a qualified instructor. The instructor will tell the class when to drink and will aim to incorporate the beverage